Scott, I want to talk to you about a race that people will often overlook in this cycle with all the big federal races, but it's at the top of the ballot. That's the race for governor. We've got Tom Sherman on the Democratic side, the incumbent governor, Chris Sununu, going for term number 4.
Right.
How do you see this one shaping up?
You know, a lot of us were watching, those of us that are addicted to this kind of thing, we were watching to see just what his percentages in the primary would be and what would constitute a win. Because on your airwaves on Friday night was a primary gubernatorial debate, not featuring Sununu, but 3 of his rivals, an hour-long slam fest if they wanted it. The opening was there for them to be able to close the gap in some way, shape, or form, even symbolically, and it didn't happen. He got 80% basically. That's a strong night for Chris Sununu. That shows that he still has friends in all places of the Republican Party, whether it's Trump wing, Free State wing, any wing, he's still the absolute commander-in-chief of New Hampshire's Republican Party. So a good win for him, a great number for him.
What do you think about the Sununu-Sherman matchup? And in particular, I'm not sure the last time the Democrats didn't have a primary, and whether in a weird way that might have not given Sherman the opportunity to introduce himself to a few more people over the last few months.
I agree with you. It's a paid advertising campaign for him, not an earned media campaign for Tom Sherman. So now he's got 8 weeks to essentially introduce himself to a statewide audience. We're seeing the ads. We're starting to see a trickle into this conversation to see what the challenge looks like, but he's coming from a long way back. The polls show it's a pretty big gap, and he hasn't had the opportunity to be in places like this and debate with folks like you to be able to introduce himself and have the conversation. Because of that, he's going up against a guy that's been doing it so long it's passé. He doesn't have to necessarily prepare for the moment. He just has to prepare for what to say. Sherman has a long road ahead.
Very intriguing to see how that one shapes up. Let's shift gears to the statewide congressional races and the Senate race and the idea of what may or may not happen with these Republican candidates and former President Donald Trump.
Sure.
This is the endorsement they all wanted in the primary. It didn't come. You know, probably a good sign or indicator that maybe he will come here in the next few months to try to help these candidates who all essentially support him.
Yes.
So what would that impact be if Donald Trump decided to come and plant that flag in New Hampshire for these candidates?
It's great for fundraising. It's great for attention. It's great for the candidates to be able to line up with their guy, because all 3 of these finalists, Bolduc, Burns, and Leavitt, are all strong Trump supporters. So for them, it's great. But we have to remember, Donald Trump, the former president and the man, is still a lightning rod of controversy in politics, and there are just as many people who can't stand him as love him. So while it brings attention, it doesn't necessarily bring votes. It might bring, in fact, a reminder of some of the more negative sides. But it's an interesting dynamic to watch, and it will be a fundraising opportunity, if nothing else.
Quickly before we wrap up, who do you think is going to be the most motivated getting out to the polls? You've got these big issues clashing this year.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think on the Democratic side of the aisle, the overturn of Roe v. Wade is one of those undercurrents that just keeps people engaged and informed. We didn't have a super high turnout primary, but that does not mean we're going to have a quiet November. I think it's going to be very active. I think we've got a clash of the titans on both sides of this conversation. It's a jump ball.
Could be a very epic midterm. Scott Spradling, thanks again for joining us. As always, Marissa and Steve, back to you.